Hello, beautiful people. Happy Monday. Happy public holiday Monday. I'm Dr. Trina Hinckley from The Expanded Self and chatting to you today a little bit more about resilience. I'll do a bit more on resilience this week, and next week we'll move on to another topic. So last week I chatted about what resilience is and why the hell we actually care, whether we're resilient or not, some of the benefits that being resilient brings into our lives and what that might look like. And there were quite a few. So today I'm talking a little bit about where we might find resilience. So what are some of the things that might be going on in our lives that might help us to be resilient? On Wednesday, I'll cover some of the things that have been shown to support us in developing a stronger level of resilience. And then Friday, I'll have a little meditation on resilience, another one, so to add to last week's. So most of you know I'm a researcher. I'm a little bit nerdy and I quite like models. I like models because they can help us fit the pieces together and they help us tell a story and how all of those bits fit together to give us the outcome that we want. And the way my mind works, that makes sense to me. I also like models because I can look at them and go, well, if I want that outcome, then these are the things that I need to focus on to get that outcome. So today I'm going to be talking about a model that I've been using in my research, well, since I started in research really, so about 14 or 15 years ago. It's called the ecological model. It's been around for a very long time and it's been applied across a variety of behaviours and outcomes. So I'll talk a little bit just very briefly about the model. I know lots of people are visual learners and I'm sorry I haven't figured out how to use the technology well enough to be able to flash up a fancy picture of the model while I'm talking, but there is one on my blog, so I will put a link to the blog in the comments or in the description for this video, so you can pop over there and have a look if you need the visual, and I do. So my apologies for not being tech savvy enough. If anybody's got any tips, please let me know because I would love to be able to do that particular trick. So think about the model in terms of a small circle in the beginning, and this is in the middle, this is resilience, and then we have 3 circles going out from that, each of them getting progressively bigger. So if we have resilience in the middle, that's the outcome that we're trying to achieve. And then the first layer, so each of these layers we call a domain, so they're a different area of our life that we might operate in. So the first layer is the individual domain. So what we put in here are things about us as individuals, ourselves. So they're things like our beliefs, our personal beliefs, some of our behaviours, things that our demographic characteristics, our age, our level of education, those kinds of things. Then we go out to what we're calling, when it's applied to resilience, we call this the next layer, the community layer. And that's where we have things like our social connections with people. So people in our families, people in our workplaces, people at the children's school, our neighbours. Those are the sorts of things that go in that second domain. And in the final domain, we call that one the societal domain. And that's where we can think about things like political constructs, environmental constructs, those kinds of things. So that very big picture stuff that goes on in our lives. So I'll talk through just a couple of things in each of those domains that have been shown to be associated with resilience. So as I'm mentioning these things, and I'll do that fairly briefly, just think the more of the construct that I'm talking about in it for an individual person, the more likelihood they have higher resilience. So at the individual domain, some of the characteristics that have been associated with resilience are positive health behaviours, so things like physical activity, healthy diet, those kinds of things. Self-confidence, self-control, our coping strategies, our self-care activities. So this might be something as simple as giving ourselves time to read a book each day or have a bath once a week, whatever it is that you need to look after yourself. And also personal agency and autonomy. At the community level, so remember this is the middle domain, this is the one that captures the social connections. We have things like trust, communication, access to social and economic resources, and social support. So that kind of makes sense. If you think about somebody who's got really strong and positive social support, that's going to help them through adverse times, which is when we see our resilience shine. And then the final domain is the societal domain. And for resilience, what we see falling into this domain are things like organisational support. So this could be workplace, school, those kinds of organisations. Social belief systems, so the social paradigms that we operate within, and also policies. So this could be political policies, judicial policies, workplace policies, school policies, any policy would fit in here. Um, so they're sort of the broad, as I said, I'm not talking too much about any of these, and I know I've gone through them fairly quickly, so please do pop over to the blog and have a look because it probably will help cement what I'm talking about here. But one that I really did want to talk about that seems to be coming out across a number of different studies in different environments is communication. So communication can happen, within the family, between intimate partners, between friends, between broader family, in workplace environments, in community. Communication can happen anywhere you interact with somebody else. The characteristics of communication that seem to be really important for supporting resilience are how open it is. So the more open you can be, the more vulnerable you can be in your sharing, the more honest you can be, the stronger the link with resilience, and how frequent it is. So communication that happens infrequently, intermittently, sporadically, probably not as great for supporting resilience as communication that happens fairly frequently or regularly and is very open. So communication, the mechanisms through which communication helps to support resilience, why this is important is because it helps us connect with other people. It helps bring us together, and that brings in the opportunity for social support, which also is a factor strongly associated with resilience. Communication also helps us share information between people. This is really important for helping us navigate day-to-day life, particularly for helping us face crises or adversity, when we're able to get information from other people on how they managed or the things that are important. In families, it supports emotional sharing, so people being able to say when they're feeling, weakened or compromised in some way, and then that allows for other people in the family that they're sharing with to provide support for them. So again, that support comes in. And communication also provides the opportunity for shared problem solving. And I'm sure everybody's aware that, many brains help create a greater problem solving opportunity, or help problem solve more effectively. We get better results when we're able to brainstorm with other people around our problem solving. So they're the key points that I wanted to touch on today. I'm sure I've gone on for long enough. So do pop over to the blog and have a look. As I said, I'll pop the link up with this video, and reach out to me if you're looking for some support around resilience, or if you'd like more information on anything that I've chatted about. And I'll pop back on Wednesday to talk about some ways that you can actually build resilience. Have a great afternoon. Bye.